Cell parts quiz. If you don't know, everyone.
All right, guys, I'm Mr. Westcott. Welcome to Algebra 1. You can call me either Mr. W, or my friends like to call me the Big W.
Hey kids, welcome to U.S. History. I'm your teacher, Ms. Perkins, but I want you all to call me Donna. That's with a D, like divorce. So we're going to have a great year. I can promise you that, although maybe I shouldn't make any promises that I can't keep. Let's talk about some U.S. presidents. A few of them had mistresses. You know that? You guys know it, but it was a full moon the other night. Hope you were charging those rocks that you got. Question table?
Out of my way.
Dude, literally, she was like, let's watch Netflix, and I was like, why we?
Just know that the definitions that I get from for the test are going to be from dictionary.com. Okay, so you can take your cell phone out and go to dictionary.com. We typed in the first word, disconsolate. Okay, and we know that if we press the icon,
Disconsolate.
it'll pronounce it for us. So if we are in an actual dictionary and we cannot, if we're in an actual dictionary, y'all ready? If you're in an actual dictionary and you cannot obviously press that icon, how can we tell how to pronounce the word? What did we say yesterday? We look at the,
what is the thing that, I don't know what it's called.
The phonetic spelling, okay? So, the phonetic spelling at the top is given in letters that will help us to understand how to pronounce it. So it's not spelled how the word is spelled, it's spelled the way that we say it. And it's broken up into what? Parts called syllables. Okay, it's broken up into parts called syllables. So a syllable is a unit of sound. One unit of sound is considered a syllable. Okay, so we said how many syllables are in disconsolate?
4.
4. Disconsolate. Disconsolate. Why do we say one of the syllables would be in bold or would have a asterisk mark over it? Because it stands out. Well, what do we call that? It's called emphasis or stress. Okay, that syllable of the word is the word that receives the stress or the most emphasis. Okay, so we would say disconsolate instead of disconsolate or disconsolate. Okay, it's disconsolate. So that's the purpose of this entire meaning in between those brackets. Okay, what's this?
Adjective.
Adjective, which is a.
No, that's a noun.
That's a noun. But I was looking for it's the part of speech. Okay, it's the part of speech. So it's important that we have the adjective or the part of speech along with the phonetic spelling, and then we find the definition that does not have the word in it. Okay, so yesterday we copied down hopelessly unhappy, so we wouldn't write down without consolation or solace. We wouldn't write that down because consolation is a part of the actual word. So, and if we don't know what the word means, then we probably don't know what the word means without the prefix added onto it. Okay? Inconsolable. Okay? So, we probably would be better off taking hopelessly unhappy. You're standing right in front of the camera.
I moved them out the way.
Shut up. So you don't have your phone, Makai? You don't have your phone?
No.
Okay. Then you might, if you don't have your.
He can't see. You need glasses.
I know, that's why I asked him if he had his phone. If you don't have your phone, you might want to pull out your dictionary from underneath and just turn to the word if you can't see this. And then we could also take one of the other definitions. So we also wrote down careless and gloomy, if you don't know what dejection means. Okay? So we take down everything that we can understand. Then we want to rewrite it in our own words. So we take down the phonetic spelling, we take down the part of speech, we take down the definition, the part of the definition that we can understand, and then we want to rewrite the definition in our own words. Okay? Because that's considered acquiring the information. Okay? You know information when you can apply it. Okay? And applying is acquiring it. So we want to be able to write it in our own words. And we said, how could we rewrite some of these in our own words?
Sadness.
We said sadness, upset, disappointment,
Jealous.
Disappointment. We could say jealous. We could say miserable. Okay? And the last thing that we want to do is put it in a sentence. Okay? Make sure that the sentence that you put it in is not one that's already used, because that would be considered plagiarizing. So if I see one of your sentences is the one from underneath in the dictionary or is from online, that one would be considered wrong. Okay? And put it in your own sentence. I want to know that you know how to put it in a sentence. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to put this word in a sentence. Remember that an adjective modifies or changes a noun. Okay? So you're describing some type of a person, place, or thing by saying it's disconsolate. So something is gloomy. Something is cheerless. Something is characterized by or causing dejection. Something is hopelessly unhappy. Something is inconsolable. Okay? So take a few seconds right now and create a sentence that you can do it too. That harbors our vocabulary word, disconsolate.
I'm Sarah.
All right, take out your orange language literature textbooks and open up to page 26. So that part of the lesson was just to kind of give you some entertainment to introduce the actual lesson. So that's called the anticipatory set of the lesson. So it's always going to be something to try to grab your attention and reel you into the lesson. So it's always going to be like a video or something catchy. But it does relate to, it's not going to be like a music video, it does relate to our story. The overall topic of how to survive the first day of high school is basically how to be accepted. Okay? You know, where should I go? Who's going to accept me? Type of thing. Okay? And that's kind of what this first story is about, called The Necklace. Let's look at the top, called Connect to Your Life. Can I have a strong reader to read Connect to Your Life at the top of page 26? Where do you stand? Where do you stand? Strong reader.
Status is defined as
person has in a group to which he or she belongs. Would their classmates consider the role status plays in a group to which you belong, such as your school? Discuss these questions with your classmates. What are some things that give a person status? How can you tell that a person has status? What are some benefits of status? What are some possible harmful effects of concern about status?
Thank you very much, Tanika. So again, this is the definition of status, just so we know before we jump into this. Status is defined as the standing a person has in a group to which he or she belongs. Can we repeat that together? Everyone saying it. 3, 2, 1. Status is defined as... Okay, I have one person who's reading. I need everybody on the top of page 26 where it says connect to your life. It says, where do you stand? We're going to read the first sentence called the definition of status. Okay, everyone should be reading along. Everyone should be participating on this part. 3, 2, and when I finish counting, we should sound like a choir. Not singing, but reading it in unison. 3, 2, 1. Status is defined as the standing a person. Awesome. You all sound beautiful. Okay. It says, with your classmates, consider the role status plays in a group to which you belong, such as your school. Discuss these questions with your classmates. So let's just go over some of these questions out loud. Okay. Tell me, what are some things that gives a person status? What gives a person status? Davion. The people they know. How would the people they know give them status? That's good, but I just want you to elaborate on it. Okay, by association. Okay, so you have status by association when you're around people that you know. What's another way that we gain status? What you do. Give me your name again. Dorian? Jordan. Sorry about that. So what you do? So what you do in that group, or you mean what you do as a person? Like if I'm on the hoop squad, that gives me. What you do as a person might give you status. Okay, so if I'm always at the crib and I'm a couch potato, would that give me status? I probably wouldn't give you too much status. Probably with the bed bugs in that couch, you know, they would love you. But that probably wouldn't give you too much status among your peers because you're always at the crib. You're just watching TV. Or maybe it would give you status because you're always watching Power and you're always watching Empire or whatever. And so you bring the conversation to the table the next time that y'all get together. You're the type of person, you was watching the NFL highlights on ESPN, and so you bring the conversations to the table. They're like, I like this person right here. They're interesting. They know how to make things social. Okay, so that might give you status. Let's go to the next one. How can you tell that a person has status? How can you tell that a person has status?
Where they at?
The way that they act. Okay, so if they, what can we tell by the way that they act that would show that? So if we're in the lunchroom and we're looking at this one table and we look at this one person, how can we tell whether or not they have status? They act cocky. Okay? They act cocky. What else?
They act like they all that.
They act like they all that. Okay? They act cocky. Huh? Well, we would, if we don't.
They be like, I fought this dude on 7 miles. You know you got your butt whooped, so why you gonna lie like that?
Well, if we're looking at them from afar, we can't tell whether or not they're lying. But if
Trying to show out.
Yeah.
okay, trying to show out. Okay, so they're trying to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
They're probably saying anything necessary in order to keep that attention. They're saying what people want to hear. Okay, so then that's what we kind of see when we see people that have status. They seem to have the crowd's attention. Okay, people are willing to listen, to stop what they're doing to listen. Okay, that's how we can tell that people have status. And then, what are some of the benefits of having status? You know, why would someone look in the mirror and say, I've got to stop being a nerd. I've got to be more like Jesse. Okay, why does it matter whether or not you have status? It doesn't matter. Anyone? Okay, so we have some no's in the house. Do we have any yeses in the house? Does status matter? Okay. I would say, personally, I would say that status does matter. I would say that status matters because status gives you power. And it gives you, and you can use that power negatively or positively, but in a positive light, I think you can use status in order to influence people for the good. Okay, so like we watch our favorite cartoons. How many people still watch cartoons? I love cartoons. Okay, we watch our favorite cartoons, and that hero or that main character has status. You know, and they have the status to get the other characters all riled up and to do certain things and to get into these crazy situations that they end up solving by the end of the show. And they have that status to influence them to do better. Okay, so you have, when you have status, you have influence and you have power. It just depends on how you use that. But what could be a harmful effect about being overly concerned about status? If you're just overly concerned about it, what's a harmful effect?
Bullying. Trying so hard.
Bullying.
I was about to say trying so hard to be someone you don't want to be or not.
Okay, I like that. Trying so hard to be someone that you know you don't want to be. Okay, I remember when, this was probably about, I don't know, 7 or so years ago. I didn't grow up playing football. I played more basketball, and so I didn't know a lot about football. But my brother knew everything about football, and so I'm the type of person that if I'm sitting in a group of people, I don't want to just sit there and be a fly on the wall. I want to be social too, so I want to add something to the conversation. Whenever you see a bunch of fellas talking and everything, you kind of want to add something to the conversation to seem like you're somebody in that conversation. So I knew that on certain conversations, I didn't have anything to say, and I didn't like that. So I remember I went to the library and I got this book called Football for Dummies, and I read up on football. It was a lot of information in there that I didn't know about. I didn't know that each team only plays 16 games a year, and then at my job that I was at the time, my manager wanted us to play fantasy football. Anybody ever play fantasy football? Okay, where you make up your own team and you bet on if that team is going to win, and you basically keep the stats that really go on in the league, and that's how you pace your team and everything. And so I was getting involved in fantasy football, and I ended up knowing a lot about it. So the next time I came around my brother and his peoples, I had something to contribute to the conversation. Now that necessarily wasn't who I wanted to be, like Tanika said. That wasn't necessarily, but I knew how to put myself in that mode when necessary. So status can make you do things that you don't necessarily want to do. Okay, so on your paper, drop a line under the assignment title, and then put this as your objective. Okay, so it says, actually, can someone read that for me?
Which one?
In red. Donovan?
Yeah. Consult dictionary to define 6 unknown vocabulary terms from the necklace and determine the proper use of the word space on meaning and part of speech.
Okay. Thank you. So every single day you're going to get your objective for the assignment so that you understand, first of all, what I expect from you. Okay, remember this stuff comes from state standards of what the state of Michigan says that you have to learn in the 9th grade. Okay, these words that we're getting are coming from our story. So the reason we take the words from the story is because we want to make sure that there's no terminology that you trip up over that keeps you from understanding the story. Okay, and we won't have to define these words during our reading of the story because you'll already have these defined. And then also the purpose of having the objective is so that you can hold me accountable for what you should be learning. Okay, so by the end of our lessons, if you don't think that you've achieved this objective, you can let me know, like, Mr. Kelly, I don't believe that I can define, or I don't believe that I know how to consult a dictionary to define 6 unknown vocabulary terms from this story. Okay, can you show me how to do this again? That's just to introduce you to the story that we're going to start reading tomorrow. But now let's get into the vocabulary of this story. And your vocabulary is right here. Copy down these 6 words. If you can't see them, you can come up closer and write those down. The first word is disconsolate. Repeat that for me. Disconsolate. That was half the people. Disconsolate. Second word is roused. Okay, let's try it again. Disconsolate. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're writing this down. The vocabulary words 1 through 6. Number 2, 3, 2, 1. Roused. Not aroused. Close. But it's roused. Okay. Number 3 is gallant. 3, 2, 1. Gallant. Okay. Number 4 is vexation. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Number 5 is poise. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Number 6 is prosperous. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. That was like a third of us, but I'll accept it. So right now we're writing down our vocabulary words. Alright, so take your phone back out and go to dictionary.com. Okay, who can give me an example or give me their sentence that they wrote down? Who can give me their sentence? Hold on, I want someone else to participate. Thank you very much, Levinas. Brave person to give me their sentence that they created. And keep in mind, make sure that you are not writing down any of the sentences that are online or in the dictionaries, because I do check those. So you would get that one wrong.
I got 2 brothers. Need twins.
Reeves, Jordan.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for the hints. Okay, so give me your sentence.
He mad because, he disconsolate.
Disconsolate?
Yes, sir. No, disconsolate.
Daniel, warning number 1. Okay, so notice how you gave the word. As soon as you gave the word, the classmates had a reaction to it. Why was there a reaction to him giving the word? Because you said it wrong. Good. So I think you said it wrong because you used it wrong.
Yeah. No.
So say it again.
He is disconsolate because his wife cheated.
Oh, okay. All right, let's write that down. Is that honestly what you had down?
What's something else?
First of all, what do you have down?
Something else.
Read it. Come on, I want to correct it. Read what you wrote down.
Now, that's what I wrote down.
Read what you wrote down.
That is what I wrote down.
Come on.
It is what I wrote down. It is. It is. You see it? It's just in a different way.
Okay, listen. Okay. No.
Somewhat.
Daniel, turn your voice off. That's what I said. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just given you the longest sentence in the world. No. So, he is sad because I gave his girl $100 to come to my car. So we didn't use the word, but we used the meaning of the word. So can we substitute any of these words out for disconsolate?
He is disconsolate.
Sad? Okay. Someone read the new sentence substituting sad for disconsolate, and let's see if it makes sense.
He is disconsolate because I gave his $100 to come to my car.
Okay, does that make sense?
No.
Why you have a period? You didn't turn into a prostitute.
That is a lot of money just for her to come to the car. Alright, no, that does make sense. Okay? He is disconsolate. So disconsolate is describing what he is. He is disconsolate because I gave her $100 to come, his girl $100 to come to my car. I don't know why he would be sad that someone gave his girl $100 just to go to the car. Sounds like a deal to me. But another way that we could write this, and then we're moving on, and we see adjectives like this all the time, is we could have just placed disconsolate right in front of a noun. Okay? He is sad because I gave his disconsolate girl $100 to come to my car. Okay? He is sad because I gave his gloomy girl, so this describes the girl. So we could put adjectives just right in front of nouns. Okay? And it describes that noun. Just like if we were to say, gave his ugly girl, or his pretty girl, his fine girl. Those are all adjectives. Okay, so one way we can write it is right in front of the noun, and another way is later on in the sentence describing the noun. All right.
Wait, do mine. Hey, I got one. Wait, you got one.
We'll come back to it. Next word. So let's go ahead and do the second word. I'm going to have you walk me through all the steps. Okay. Tanika, can you spell out the word on dictionary.com for us? So now go to your phone and type in, if you have your phone. If you don't have your phone, get your dictionary from underneath. Type in the second word. What's the second word? Rouse. Thank you. Type that in on dictionary.com. Okay, Gianni, I wanted you to type it in on the computer.
Oh.
Are you ready? Read mine.
Trust me, I'm reading everyone's because this is going to be due. Once I give you all the words.
Should I say it out loud?
So you guys scroll up.
Should I say it out loud?
Not right now.
Before? Get off this
And copy that down.
Ooh, can I read it out loud?
Notice how. And we get to press the speaker on the screen. Okay, notice how the phonetic spelling has how many syllables? One. Okay, it has one syllable. Sometimes the word in itself is stressed and sometimes it's not. Remember, if it's two or more syllables, one of those syllables definitely has to have a stress on it.
Rouse.
Okay. So rouse in itself probably is stress. Rouse. Okay, so that whole word is probably stressed. Anyhow, so we would copy down the word, the phonetic spelling. I'm too short. Alright, thank you. Alright. You would copy down the word, the phonetic spelling, and the part of speech is a verb.
Rouse.
What's the definition?
Oh, I got that.
Somebody other than these two keep participating.
Okay.
Our state of sleep unconsciousness.
Okay.
Period. Inactivity and security of habit.
Can't hear you.
Okay. So to bring out of a state of sleep, or to bring out of a state of unconsciousness, or to bring out of a state of inactivity, or to bring out of a state of fancied security. or to bring out of a state of apathy, or to bring out of a state of depression. Okay, so rouse is to bring somebody out of a state of one of these. Okay, one of these. So it's a verb. How can we, what's the next step? I forgot you all are supposed to be walking me through this part. What's the next step?
Write down the adjective. No, it's a verb.
Okay, we're supposed to write down the part of speech. You were saying write down the phonetic spelling.
Yeah.
What's next?
Wasn't it?
Put it,
Write down the
put it
definition.
in, write down the definition, and then put it in your own words. Write down your own definition. Okay, so make sure when you write down the definition, you're writing down the part that you actually understand. Don't write down words that you don't understand. Make it so that you understand it. Write down the words that you understand. You might understand unconsciousness, sleep, inactivity, depression. So when you write it in your own words, someone restate this for me in their own words. How can you restate this definition in your own words? Jesus? Thank you. To wake someone up. To wake someone up. To rouse. To wake someone up. Okay? Because when we bring them out of a state of sleep, we wake them up. Okay? If we bring them out of a state of inactivity, to make someone active. Okay? If we bring them out of a state of depression, to excite someone. Okay? Then you're going to put it in your own sentence. Okay? So once you restate it in your own words, put it in a sentence as a verb. So, you know, verbs usually show action. That's not all they do, but they usually show action. Tomorrow I'll have your exit ticket for you on these. Cheerleading squad roused the crowd during the pep rap.
When they're twerking.
Okay. Have a good day. Do your homework. Remember to find these words. Look for the part of speech. Get the phonetic spelling. Get the definition. Rewrite it in your own words and put it in a sentence.